who's that real estate developer in the White House?
You mean that Trump
Donald
guy?
Trump.
That Trump guy?
Yeah.
You mean the
Yeah. So
I think they need to
that
understand
crime family?
Yeah. I think they need to understand the guy has been involved with the Czechs and the Russians for years because what? Is the mother of them?
Hello.
She's what?
Hello.
And the new wife, I mean, is she not from
Yeah.
that part of the world? I mean, the guy is so obviously, these are the women, he only had one, was it Marla Maples is the only other one that he was with? I mean, he's spent time over there. He loves those type of women and everything. He's in that, and that's why they
and that kind of corruption,
yeah, he likes
bureaucracy,
because he
greed,
saw,
it matches.
what was the way those guys took over the country. And
they're pretty white, too. They're pretty white over there.
Well, and also...
I'm just saying.
Well,
they all looked at,
Well, one of the things that,
Trump and Putin look good together.
The United States, and they've already done the math on it, we're doing a heck of a lot better than Russia. So we don't really
we usually do.
Yeah, we're as far as our economy, as far as, the way that people live, our people live, we got our poor and our own problems. We don't have the problems that Russia has. And really, Russia...
because we currently have a Russian-style kleptocracy running the country. So given time...
Is that like kleptomaniac?
Yeah, it's
Gotcha.
Basically they are
I thought we were a plutocracy now.
Well, they're multitasking, but they are in there to
Donald
steal
can't even
the
do
country
one thing,
blind.
but I see that, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's already spent, just to protect this guy, the millions of dollars we spend to protect him. Nothing like what we had with Obama.
Incredible.
But wherever this guy...
Well, it's not just him. It's the kids. It's when Melania and Barron were still living in New York, refusing to move into the White House.
Yeah.
It's when he goes to Mar-a-Lago, and they have to add a Marine element to the
and
protection.
you can't fly over that area. I mean, it's all... I mean, they jumped on, Michelle for being in Spain. And I'm like, oh, okay, but you're right here in the old US of A, and they got to cover you wherever you go.
Come on, they said stuff about Michelle, not because she was in Spain, because she's black. That's why.
Well, but
how come the half Latina, half white person got to stand up for black people? Come on now.
What are you trying to say? Are you trying to say there's a racial connotation in this?
That's
Race
one of
never has
the
anything
issues
to do with anything.
with his followers
Greed,
is that every, if people try to deny the racial element, everything they accused Obama of, short of being born in Kenya, Trump is doing tenfold, and it's fine. Now, why is that? It's okay. You could say it's because of party lines, but looking at the two guys,
Isn't Trump the original birther guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although he tried to put that on Hillary. No, he, and even if he didn't start it,
he finished it.
It was finished long before he said he put the nail in the coffin.
Right.
It was for him to rile up those KKK base.
Yeah, absolutely. And David Duke, who he doesn't know. But, we were talking about this before the show. You guys didn't see Joe Scarborough and Mika Brzezinski on Colbert this week. But basically, Scarborough announced that he was leaving the Republican Party and becoming an independent because of the coddling and the willful ignorance of what Trump is doing that is being done by the Republican Party. And what you were just saying, Timon, about how Michelle brought up, he said himself he could shoot someone in the middle of Fifth Avenue. And there is that, 30% of the people.
As long as they're black or Latino or a lesbian or a gay guy.
They'll find a reason.
Yeah,
they'll come up with a reason. It doesn't matter who he shoots. Right. But you come to accept, you don't have to like it, but you come to accept the fact that 30% of the population are so willfully ignorant, some might say stupid, that they are willing to forgive everything he does. Fine, because that's reality. People are going to be stupid. The problem is when the Republican Party officials and when the elected representatives refuse to be the adult in the room and stand up and say, this is wrong.
Right.
And the fact that they let it go throughout the campaign because they knew it was going to win, and now that he's in office, they're letting it go on some more. And this is the problem. One day, and who knows what it's going to take, but these fools in Congress are going to have to start putting the country ahead of their party.
Right.
and do what is right for America.
And what if they still don't?
See, I don't think it's because people are stupid.
Some people are stupid.
Where we are is, if you will, the crescendo of a Republican revolution that started during the Goldwater period. It was post-World War II. There was abundance in our country after World War II. But part of what evolved at that point was a huge critique of government and a huge critique of FDR programs. And what they've been able to do, and they're very well financed, they've got think tanks like Cato and Heritage Foundation. What they've been able to do is move the consciousness of this country in some sectors, with some voters, that say that government is by its very nature corrupt, inefficient, incompetent, stupid. And so Trump rode that wave, and that's what got him elected. And it got him elected with working class voters in states that have typically been Democratic in the last so many years. I mean, they voted for Clinton in Pennsylvania and Wisconsin. In Michigan, they voted for Obama in those 3 states. But the propaganda machine that creates, Grover Norquist, for example, one of the lead thinkers in this movement.
Wow.
His interesting quote is, "I'm going to take government and shrink it down to the size where I can flop it into the bathtub and choke it to death."
Absolutely.
This is the crescendo of that. And so the debate and the movement has got, the Democratic Party has to take that on. And it has to defeat it, and it has to defeat it with the successes that it can claim. Senior poverty in this country went from 35% to 10% currently. People have better educational opportunities. When they're unemployed, they have insurance. All of this stuff is democratic, liberal, based on democratic liberal ideology. It countermands what the Trump thinking is about and what created Trump. So the people are not stupid. People are taught to be this way, and unfortunately, there's not been a very good counter campaign to neutralize that.
No, I understand that, and I'm from Chicago, granted city, but I lived in Missouri for 8 years. I have been.
I'm sorry about that.
I have experienced the flyover states in all their splendor and glory, and the reason I say, that people are stupid is because I'm that's just what I believe in general, but I think. The problem is that when I understand exactly what you're saying, they're buying the propaganda hook, line, and sinker. It's what they're being taught. It's what they're being indoctrinated in. But when evidence to the contrary is staring you in the face and you still refuse to believe it,
that's called denial.
You're political flat earthers, in my opinion. Well, and there's a difference between ignorance and stupidity.
But that's called fear, though. That is that fear.
I get it, but you can't let the fear guide you.
Can I bring up something, David?
Yeah.
One thing that I noticed, I want to retract that I said people are stupid. Okay, only because not everyone is stupid.
No,
but we are definitely
we
get brainwashed. It's true. Some people get brainwashed, and
they suffer
that
for
propaganda machine is really strong.
Well, they suffer for a lack of knowledge.
Yeah,
and like he was talking about history, and history always plays a part in what we're doing today. You can learn from and why things are the way and how they got to. How did we go from being a 40% production country to now only 10%. They turned us into manufacturing, and where they, we are now consumers. We think a certain way. We need a certain thing. We changed our banking system. We changed everything. And as he was saying, you're looking at. They want to continue to shrink government because government brings regulation. They don't want regulation because, who was it that stated that if we want to keep them a certain way because we know that the poor will take our land if we didn't. Was that Hamilton or or Smith or one of them.
I'm not familiar
the
with
rich
the
were
quote.
always worried that if the poor eventually got the knowledge that they need, they would lose. And you have so many people who have that lack of knowledge of what is going on in our society and what is true. Like you said, I can sell you that, Obama is a birther. I can sell that he's not from here. I can sell you this. These people are your problem, not this problem. And then they say, oh, government is bad. And then they kill education. They don't want you. Oh, you highly intelligent people. We don't want you. We don't want scientific but we want God, and we throw God in there, and religion, and all these different things.
I agree with what you're saying, but the thing that I was bringing up is that the problem is one of the things that I see that I don't think we talk about enough is that when, like on the Democratic side, on our side, or just the left side, whatever, how sometimes we do act elitist. We do act like we're smarter than everybody, that everybody's stupid, and the other side does not like to get called stupid. And they hate this side. It's just like on the playground.
Right.
They don't care. Like if the smart kid, fuck the smart kid. That's what they're like. Fuck you, the smart kid. I don't care if you have the right answer. I will shoot myself in the foot before I let you do anything. And that's where we have to be. Look, if we're the smart people, if we're the loving side, if we're the people that know about government and try to take care of people, there's somehow we have to be the adult. The Republicans are not going to be the adults.
Well, sure,
so,
but when
us calling them names, I don't think is helping.
When someone starts pushing you around and saying, "What do you think? You're better than me?"
I just shank them.
It's really hard not to say no. No, I don't think I'm better than you. I know I'm better than you.
I know, but we've got to hold that ego back and somehow do something. Yeah, because it's not helping.
If you notice that even within our kids on a playground, they watch what the other kid is wearing. They watch. Remember the kid who would sit in the front of the classroom and he'd raise his hand. Other kids would get pissed off because he's answering too many of the questions. Oh, I'm not supposed to be smart? I'm not supposed to study?
Yeah.
You're supposed to be an idiot like the rest of us. And so, you're not. And I can remember, I don't have pictures of me, my senior pictures, because I was stupid enough to hang out with some guys that said, screw getting your pictures taken, blah, blah, blah. And so now, here, years later, I don't have a picture.
You were brainwashed. Do you see how it works?
Oh no, I was just being a dumbass. And it wasn't until I got out on my own and I started following the beat of my own drum and not following. I wasn't a follower. I had to start dealing with issues and dealing with myself and then say, you know what? No, I'm not following that.
I snuck into a bunch of pictures. I did the opposite. I joined, like the German club and the Spanish club. And
I have a friend from high school who went twice on picture day, and I think the name he used for his second picture was like Skip Josephson or something. But he's in our senior yearbook twice as himself and as...
Which reminds me of another very important topic. Is somebody... Do you all know... Sorry to shift us but
No.
Is there going to be a sequel to Ferris Bueller's Day Off? Has anybody heard that?
I hope so.
I haven't heard... I guess Radio Titan's Major
I don't know if
Domo
we want to
Carl
hear him
Kozlowski
sing
would be the one
though,
to...
No, that's all good.
Anyway, sorry. He better not be a right winger. I'll tell you that.
Well, I don't know. It depends. I mean, I'm familiar with those suburbs of Chicago that were portrayed in the movie, and he could be one of those. I don't know. I think Ferris Bueller would grow up to stay rich but donate heavily to liberal causes.
That's what I say.
That's what I think.
He's a good guy.
Yeah. Have you seen Spider-Man: Homecoming?
No.
There's one scene. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. But there's one scene. It's a great homage and a direct reference to Ferris Bueller that it worked.
Can we bring up the movie that you and I saw?
Sure.
What was it called again?
Except don't tell my wife we went to it together. Except I don't have a wife. Well, I did pose for a picture with somebody. No, never mind.
What was it called again? Beatrice at Dinner. And then, of course, I'm like, did anybody see Beatrice at Dinner? Beatrice at Dinner. I on Facebook, did anybody see Beatrice at Dinner? Let's discuss it. And my friend, of course, is like, I saw her at lunch. I'm like, thanks a lot, everybody. Hey, nice to know you. I'm out. What'd you think?
I thought it was just really well done. It was so good to see her just take this jerk off racist on this rich, white, wealthy scum